Hey everybody, it's Ethan with Pop Pops, and thank you again for joining me for another unboxing video. Today, this is the fifth and final video, at least in the way that I've recorded them. Might not be that way for uploading, but this is the final video I'm recording of my friend Phil Boyer's generous donation of 21 Funko Pops to the channel. And this is, it's the smallest group that I've done. Typically it's been 4 to 5 figures, but this one was really hard to kind of section off because we have a character from Magic the Gathering, the card game, and then we have 2 anime characters. And there were really no other pieces that kind of meshed together. Like, this is kind of the miscellaneous collection part, I suppose, because as I've said before in previous videos, as wonderful as collection as he had, Phil was very much, I think he did kind of what a lot of collectors do. He just saw a couple that he liked, grabbed them, and then didn't really necessarily keep going with that set because something else kind of came out. I don't know. I'll have to probably ask him. But anyway, point is, I'm going to set the big figure over in the corner till the very last moment. We're going to do the small ones as we like to do. And I'm going to start off actually with the Magic the Gathering character because I knew these happened, and I like how I said happened, like as in kind of like it's disappointing, but it's actually not. It's really cool. It shows how much Magic the Gathering as a game transcended their own medium, and I really need to give them credit for that. I can't take anything away from them. I think they're even working on, I've heard rumor a couple times that there might be like a show involving their characters. And as much as I have issues with the company currently, card game wise, I can't deny what they've done actually artistically, and the fact that they've been going, honestly, I think they've almost been a card game as long as I've been alive. So anyway, without further ado, this is one of the characters. It was a side character actually to start out with, Johnny Goldmane, and he became more prominent once the current plot kind of picked up. Well, current as of like last year. So that arc technically finished. They kind of did an Avengers thing, and all the heroes kind of showed up on the same place and did battle with the big bad. And Johnny was one of those characters who kind of came and helped out. And he's interesting because, to my understanding, if I remember my research correctly, he is one of the Leonin, which is a bunch of different planes, because that's how magic works. Each set represents typically a different plane that people go to, and there's different creatures, kind of like going to different planets in Star Wars. And he's basically part of like this bipedal cat race, and because he's an albino, there's no really better way of putting it. Like that's kind of his thing. Like he's white, and all the other Leonians are different color and stuff, if I remember correctly. I might get yelled at by some of my Magic friends in the comments. But anyway, oh, there he goes. He's the first one to fall today. So it's interesting because he basically got kicked out of his clan, Pride. Yeah, Pride, because cats. And no, he also just because he was a special snowflake, effectively. He kind of like kept like helping them out and stuff, even though he got kicked out, I think. But he found this power that the main characters all have, where his spark erupted and stuff, and basically let him go from planet to planet or plane to plane, and he started kind of just being like this wandering hero. So I guess he's like a samurai cat without being a samurai, which is cool, because instead of like a katana, he uses this weird double-headed axe thing, staff, Darth Maul. Hashtag, I don't know. But anyway, I've talked about him pretty extensively at this point, so I'm going to set him aside. It's a cool little set. I don't think they're doing them anymore, because Magic kind of does their own thing. But anyway, before I get ahead of myself, here is a character I know a lot more about. It is Kakashi Hatake from Naruto, and oh my god. So I've got a deep history with Naruto. It's a show I grew up with watching around high school age. I played the card game, I played video games for it, and it's in this weird kind of, I don't love it, but I don't hate it kind of area. Oh geez, he just popped right out. But, like a ninja. But, yeah, I don't know, like, there's parts that I really love about Naruto conceptually, but there's other times that it's very painful to watch. So like you gotta be in the mood, and you gotta just kind of like tell yourself, all right, I'm watching this for the sake of watching cool stuff happen. I'm not necessarily watching it for complex plot or characters. It's Dragon Ball Z with ninjas, and there's nothing wrong with that. As much as I need to remind myself, but it's cool. And Kakashi is the epitome of cool. He is the, like, kind of, I don't want to call him the lazy teacher, but he really is. Even though, like, when stuff goes down, he's totally the guy to call on. But he just he's kind of got the whole cool guy koi persona of, you know, I just kind of hang out, and I guess I have to be the one to handle the kind of miscreant team, as it were, because he has to deal with the main character who is just hyperactive and doesn't really want to be told no, and then he also has to deal with the emotionally stunted character of Sasuke, who has this vendetta against his brother because his brother killed his whole family, and it kind of has that whole Star Wars revenge thing going on there. But I mean, Kakashi kind of is like the glue who kind of holds them all together, and he's cool, and he actually lasts through the entire show, somehow not getting dwarfed by the Dragon Ball Z effect, because a lot of times with shows like that, characters, unfortunately, even if they start out cool, they kind of they kind of just fall to the wayside because it's just the way the stories progress. But Kakashi found a way to stay relevant, and we gotta give him some love for that. But he's gonna probably be character number 2 that falls over a lot. It's that anime hair, I'm telling you. So we'll sit him down. But here's the big piece for today, and this is the reason why Naruto is cool, even despite all its flaws. You have giant demon monsters like the nine-tailed fox Kurama, and not only is it cool, but the nine-tailed fox is deep in like the mythology of, you know, Asian culture. I think it's technically more a Japan thing. I haven't really bothered to differentiate that much in my research on nine-tailed foxes, but effectively, foxes typically in that kind of mythology, they'll end up with an amount of tails, but until the 9th one, if I remember right, they kind of have limited magical powers. They're only so special. But once they get their 9th, they effectively become divine. Or in this case, pseudo-demonic, I guess, for lack of a better term. This was like the prequel antagonist. I don't know, like, I don't even have like a good comparison for another show per se, but basically the show starts off with introducing us to the idea that this massive fox creature was destroying the entire ninja village, and like one person had the answer and sealed it away inside of a child of, you know, destiny basically, and that was the main character, Naruto. And I don't know, it's one of those things that, like, as much of a trope as it is, he just looks so cool. Like, he's just giant flamboyant orange demon fox with these like massive flowing tails that, you know, obviously the Funko version, they're not as flowing, but if you ever see it, they're not like the Pokemon Vulpix or Ninetales either. They actually kind of all it's almost kind of like a Hydra, I guess. It kind of just, they all free flow around, and so it just looks really cool. And it's one of those things, you know, even if I don't get any other characters from, yeah, I need to work on that, but yeah, so even if I don't get like any other characters from Naruto, like, I'm super pumped to have at least Kurama here, because like I said, I mean, you can't discount something that's cool for the sake of cool. It's one of the rules. But anyway, enough about that. That was a long video for probably just, you know, 3 figures. And so I want to thank you guys for staying with me to the end. Feel free to, down in the comment section below, to, you know, voice opinions on the figures, thoughts, feelings, and you know, feel free to like, share, subscribe. I appreciate all the feedback, all the support that I get, and until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, and I hope to see you again.